Hey everybody, welcome back to Beachpreneurs Virtual Topic Tables. You're here with Kelly McCausey and my partner,
Nicole Dean.
She's my beachy bestie. I'm wearing my Beachies necklace.
Aww.
I love my Beachies necklace. My shirt says Beachies, my shirt says bitches. Interchangeable maybe. How are you today, Nicole?
I'm good. I'm posting in our groups to remind people that we are on the call. I said, get your butts on the call. With the
Get over here.
See, I can do that because I'm sweet.
We confess we forgot to send out adequate reminders about the calls, but the replays, people love time shifted content. So all of you who are watching the replays, it's just like you're here with us. So.
I give you a hug just right now.
So we're joined today by Rayven Monique. Hi, Rayven.
Hello, hello. I am so happy to be here, but I'm always happy to be with the two of you.
Aw, I love you, my Raven.
I love you, my Nicole. And my Kelly.
I love you so stinking much. Oh!
Before I hit the record button, we were talking about adventures that are planned for next week in Atlanta. So the non-Beachpreneurs event that I host each year is Exposure and Profit. No beach to play on, but Nicole is determined every time she travels to have an adventure, and Rayven is definitely up for adventure, so you guys have shenanigans planned.
We have fun shenanigans planned. Well, and we work so well together because I'm like, I want adventures, and Raven sends me this list of like 30 things. She's like, okay, here's some stuff I found, rank them. And so I'm like, okay, here's my hell yes, here's my, this sounds interesting, but you know, talk me into it if you're excited about it. I said something else, but we'll go with it. and then I'm like, not too excited about this, but you can convince me. And then I'm like, been there, done that for the things that I've done multiple times. And then I'm like, this just not excited about for a couple things. And so then she's like the planner. That's a part that I suck at when it comes to this stuff. So she's like, okay, so I've got all this, here's our schedule and here's what we're going to do. And I'm just like, I just have to show up, have a good attitude and just relax and have fun and be ready to just enjoy it. Oh, yes. Best day ever. Because we discovered when I plan the travel, it doesn't quite go as smoothly.
Well, it sounds like you both are creating exactly what you want.
Yes.
The magic sauce of doing it together.
We're going to be doing some indoor skydiving, some alpacas and llamas. Well, I should rephrase that. Having an alpaca experience.
We're going to be feeding them. We'll be feeding some alpacas and llamas.
Eating them. And we'll be doing nature or yoga in a nature reserve and nature in a yoga reserve. And oh, and then there's EP too.
There's that whole conference thing we decided to
Then there's the event. I love events. But I love it for that reason too. Like we don't necessarily at this point in the trajectory of my online business, I don't really go to events so much to learn, although I always do get, beautiful golden nuggets, but it's the experience of the people and attacking on the extra day for adventuring and shenaniganing is just part of the magic of it.
Well, it's because of the people that I had to put Beach House on my 2020 list, because I've been to Beach House a lot. And then I saw and I wasn't going to go this year. I was going to go to the condo instead. And I saw all the people that were going to be there. And I'm like, I can't not go.
I know.
I can't not go. Look at all these wonderful people that are going to be there. I don't want to miss major FOMO. I'm going.
I feel you.
You're FOMO turned into ROMO, which
Romo.
is refusal of missing out.
Right.
Romo. No mo. No mo missing out. That's what I say. No mo.
Oh, Rayven, so having you here doing table topics,
Yeah.
our Beachies, the Beachies who know you as Rayven Monique of colorhappy.com.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Rayven Monique of colormonthly.com.
Yeah.
But we want them to know Rayven Monique of abundability.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about abundability.
Well, you know, I always knew someday that I would finally grow up, figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I was okay with the journey, you know, just plugging along and exploring and playing and seeing what fits and what didn't. And there were a few things that didn't fit, and there was so much that did. When I started Color Happy, it was because I was on a mission to spread joy and happiness through the world. And the way that I did that with that site was through coloring. And having gone, well, I don't know how many years I've been doing this for, like about 3 years now with Color Happy and Color Monthly. And having gone through this journey, I realized the thing that lights me up the most is the happiness. And I was finally in a place to share my success with bringing happiness and abundance into my life. And thus, abundability was born. The concept that we all have the ability to bring abundance into our lives in every part of our lives. It's all within us. It's all in our own power. So I've got my first retreat coming up in January in St. Augustine, Florida. It's happening. You know, I hadn't intended to start this website this year, but through knowing and asking and experiencing the want of having this experience for myself and for the people that I touch, the universe decided that now is the time. It's an interesting thing about manifestation is that as human beings, we have this time scale, like this happens and then this happens and then this will happen. And, you know, it all goes within the time. There's some things we want instantly and there's some things we want 10 years from now. I did not expect this to materialize quite when it did, but that's part of it. You just kind of go with it and roll with the opportunities, right?
Hell yes, right.
Hell yes.
So tell us about the retreat.
The retreat is called Girl, Get What You Want, and it is 3 days full of fun. We actually arrive on a Monday night and leave on a Friday morning, so we have the full Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And it's all about getting clear about what it is that we'd like to create in our lives. And then we go through my very easy 5-step process for having those things materialize in our lives. So we're going to get clear. We're going to get it going and get it in action. And then we will play with what happens next. I have a simple 5-step system because have you guys watched The Secret? Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm. I have.
You've seen it, Kelly, haven't you?
Yes. I don't think I watched the entire thing. I watched part of it.
Enough
Was
to
that
understand.
when you thought it was all fooey yet, Cal, or was that after you were open to it?
It was when I thought it was fooey. But interesting, several people who I love and follow now talk about how they were in The Secret. But when I watched The Secret, I thought they were fooey. So, yeah.
It's
I'm
interesting.
on a journey.
I'm on a journey. Do we get t-shirts?
and that's kind of how it ends up. We are all on that journey in one way or one shape or form or another. For you, it's come to be thy makeup that some things that were completely phooey before are a little okay. I can see where they're coming from, at least not just and not oh yes, I'm a believer, but more like I'm starting to get it. For me, when I watched The Secret, I was like, this is it. This is the thing I've been looking for my whole life. This is the answer to everything. Ask, believe, receive. I got this. I can do it. And it didn't happen. and I'm like, what the heck am I missing? I watched the movie. I believe it. I'm a believer.
Did you forget the do step?
I did, because I didn't know it was a step. That's just it. I watched the movie. I'm like, I'm taking notes. I'm like, I'm going to do what they tell me to do. If they've got the system figured out, all I have to do is follow it and I'll get the results that I want. I'm very good at following the rules when I find a reason to follow the rules. Like if a rule doesn't make sense to me, I have no problems not following the rule. But if the rule is giving other people results, I'm going to try it. And I'm going to try it exactly. I am not going to deviate a single bite of cookie from that diet. If you tell me just eat these things and this result will happen, I will do it. I will give it my whole heart. And it's when I get to the end of the journey and I look back and said, now look, I know me. I don't know about other people that have said that they've tried this and it didn't work for them. I know personally, I gave this 100% of my effort. I did everything I was supposed to do exactly as you told me, and I'm not getting the results. So where's the problem? And that's what was happening with me when I was trying to manifest using the method of ask, believe, receive from The Secret. And so I spent years, I mean, it's been years since I still believe it. Right? I still understand that the law of attraction is a law. That's how it works. The things that we create in our the choices that we make, the things that we ask to have happen to us happen. And there was something missing in the ask, believe, receive. My treasure chest full of money didn't pop down out of the sky and land on my doorstep. I looked for it every day. I used to have this like feeling like, well, maybe I'll like walk into a public bathroom and there will be this bag of money hidden behind the toilet. And it's just there. And how do I get it out? I know, right? I actually found some sunglasses
behind the toilet.
I don't know, but that's where it was. I did find sunglasses. There were sunglasses behind a toilet once, and I still have them. They were good sunglasses. They're my favorite pair. I did like totally. I put them in rubbing alcohol for like 2 weeks. So
I'm going to manifest clean money.
Clean money. But, I mean, that's what I was thinking back then, is that if I just believed hard enough that somehow whatever I wanted would show up, and it wasn't showing up. And so I got real about it. I'm like, so if other people are experiencing results, and this is obviously not complete, what am I missing? And I can tell you that you're right on, Nicole, when you were saying, did you forget the action part? Because there are actually 2 steps that are missing from The Secret's ask, believe, receive. And instead of it being ask, receive, believe, receive, it's ask, believe, feel, act, receive. And I started to become obsessed with this process, and with seeing that this process is the process that you will get if you go to a self-development course that has nothing to do with the law of attraction. This is the process. If you go into nearly any of the major religions and you're praying to God, this is the process. This is the process that is used over and over, no matter what background or what you want, what goal you want in life. This is the process. It's to identify what it is that we want, believe that we are capable of doing it, feel the feelings that we're going to get when we receive the thing that we're working towards, act on opportunity, and then be open to receiving it however it shows up. And this process was just like a whole new world for me. And there are different methods of the believing and the feeling and the acting that I love to share, and I do on a daily basis, and I do different things for different reasons, and that's part of what abundability is. But the 5-step system, the way that we get the things that we want, it's always going to be ask, believe, feel, act, receive. And if we're looking back in hindsight of the big things that we've accomplished or the little things we've accomplished in our lives, it's very easy to see that was the pattern, that is the pattern. because that's the way that it works.
Rayven, there's an abundance coach that I spent some time with a couple years ago who was not on board with you. She literally strictly adhered to the concept of you just have to want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I questioned, I said, so does that mean if I lock you in a closet and take away the keys, that you're going to sit in that closet and manifest whatever you need? And she said, yeah, if I'm doing it right. And I was just like puppy, huh? But the interesting thing about it is that on a whole, she was not a very successful abundance coach.
Sorry.
And
I'm trying not to laugh because it's mean.
It's mean. It's not mean, to say the truth. It's not intended harshly. It's true. She's not a very successful abundance coach in that she's not manifesting great financial success for herself or manifesting clients. But all the really powerful people who I do feel drawn to today, they are successful and they're action takers. So it just speaks to what you're talking about, Rayven, that it's interesting that even though what I've always poo-pooed about law of attraction is this idea that people are sitting somewhere just intending that something will happen and never moving a muscle towards making it happen. And then they point to teachers who they say tell them this is how it works. But I look at the teachers, they're acting.
Mm-hmm.
And how do so many people miss that element, that obvious element? So thank you for that.
So a couple of things on that story. First, how do they miss it? Well, action sounds like work. So a lot of times it's glossed over because it feels like something that, well, when the opportunity arises, you'll just naturally act on it. It's not natural for the exact reason that you're saying, that people are so focused on the just believe it hard enough and it'll materialize. So because acting sounds like work, it's one of the things, it's like a diet. If you're selling somebody a diet, are you going to say, now you're going to have to go and exercise, you're going to have to get rid of all of the food that you want? No, you're going to say, just take this easy pill, drink it with a glass of water, and the weight will melt off, because that doesn't sound like work. and the truth is, it doesn't have to be work. The action doesn't have to be work. In fact, it should be fun. But back to your story about the locking her in a closet. First, when we're judging that she's not successful, the only person that matters to is her. So what may look like success to me or you may not be what she's considering success. And it may be. I have a feeling it probably is. But for all of those listening out there right now, just because we think of something as a success doesn't mean that that's what the person that is experiencing it is thinking of, and vice versa. Second, she's not wrong. If she's in that closet and she's wanting whatever it is that she wants, she does have the ability of having that happen to her. But here's where it deviates from the just believe it hard enough and it shows up. If she's locked in that closet, believing that with an ask that, like, Prince Charming is going to open the door for her, for example, okay? If she's locked in that closet and she believes that Prince Charming is going to open the door, if he doesn't open the door, it's because she says, I'm locked in a closet. How is this going to happen? This doesn't sound like a really good odds of this happening to me. So yeah, she'll most likely doubt in some way, shape, or form that that's really going to happen, and it won't happen. And maybe in her mind, Prince Charming is going to open the door. What if he just knocks? If she's not taking the action to open the door or unlock it from the inside, how's he even going to get in? So there's so many things to that. It's still going to follow the same process. She could have Prince Charming open that door for her through the 5 steps, asking, believing that it's really capable of happening, feeling how she's going to feel when he does open the door, opening the door for him when he knocks. And then having that happen. So what I'm saying is, sure, I know that you were giving her an impossible example, but anything is possible. She still has to act.
Yeah, Cal, if she has a cell phone and calls the fire department.
Oh,
yeah? Major Hottie McHottie opens the door. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
The door opens and standing there in the light is just.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to, what's that Star Trek impossible test that Captain Kirk passes?
The Kobayashi Maru.
Yep. I'm trying to.
Oh my God, I'm such a nerd.
I never watched the original series. I liked all the rest of them.
I'm trying to give someone that impossible test, and then, you know, I'm totally open to the fact that they might Captain Kirk it and just cheat. Like,
Well, to me, now I'm thinking,
I don't know what test you're talking about, but I'm trying to figure out if somebody was given an impossible task, how there's any cheating.
well, in this case, it's a
simulation.
Simulation that's designed to force the captain to fail.
Okay.
In order to see how the person responds to failure. It's a mental mindset test. And so everyone knows nobody passes. So Kirk cheated and reprogrammed the simulator because he does not accept failure.
Which accurately shows you how he deals with failure.
Yep.
Exactly. He doesn't so well.
Yep. Yep. Love me some Captain Kirk.
I think he might have been, he was one of my first crushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Davy Jones. It just happened to be that was what was on TV after school, Star Trek and the Monkeys. So I'm like,
Mine was Bruce Willis.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
Awesome.
So for me, the law of attraction is just a practical thing. Like I don't go as far yet as like Rayven as you do. I just find it to be incredibly practical because most people, like my coaching clients and things, they have no idea what they even want. Yeah. Like, why are you running this business? I don't know, to make money. Well, why? Like, what do you want? And it's like that story of the businessman that's working, and he's talking to his coach, and he's like, well, what are you going to do when you make all the money? He said, I'm going to go fishing. It's like, you can go fishing now. And he's like, oh, dude, yeah, I guess I could. You know, by knowing what you want, you can make it happen. But without knowing what you want, you're not looking for all of the gifts and opportunities that are around us every day. We're just blind to them because we're not open to that. So to me, that's what the law of attraction is like, the world is full of miracles and magic and wonder, and it's full of beauty and awesome opportunities. And if we're walking around like this because we don't know what we want, they're, you know, bouncing off of us all day long. So to me, that's what the law of attraction is just going, okay, this is what I want, and I'm not going to be afraid to ask for it. I want all of these things. You know, I want my health. I want a good relationship. What would that look like? You know, what do I want to drive? I've got my blue Jeep. I want a vehicle that I can open the top. That's what I want. I will never drive a car with a roof ever again. And knowing what I want, I'm able to actually be able to go, okay, well, how do I have to make that happen? And then be open to possibilities.
Right.
And then they come. And I'm like, yes, please. And through taking action. I mean, obviously, you know, doing the things we have to do every day, or not have to, but the things I choose to do every day, you know, can just makes everything more possible, I think. But I'm not the expert, but that's my like what I can grasp as far as the whole concept goes.
And that's exactly it. We are capable of getting all the things. And when I say things, I don't necessarily mean like dollars,
material,
in the bank, material objects. There are some of those that most of us desire, you know, a nice car that we'd like to drive, a decent place to live. But for the most part, it's about the experiences. It's about the shenanigans. It's about the feelings that we feel. So many of our memories are all tied to feelings, and it's not just memories of experiences. It's food, it's scents, it's all of this is tied to what we feel, to our emotions, and so anytime that we can, and that's why feel is part of the 5-step process, to feel the feelings that you'll feel when you've achieved the thing that you desire, because it's all so much about how we feel and wanting to recreate the feelings of good. So that's most of us, that's what we go after, is it's experiences. It's wanting to climb the Eiffel Tower and to look down on Paris and have that feeling of, oh, look, I've accomplished this, I'm here. Or, to have a family and to hold your grandchild for the first time. I don't want that.
I'll take that.
You take that one. I've asked them to give me at least 5 more years before that happens.
Like waving that away for you.
Right. But it's the feelings. It's all about, what do we want to experience? And yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in there too.
Spending a month together in Croatia.
There's that. Yes.
We're doing next September. Rayven and I are.
And I'm going to plan, I'm going to plan like Game of Thrones, like experiences. I'm going to find the best ones, and we're going to do that. We will buy outfits, and we will dress up, and we will walk the streets of Split, Croatia, like dressed as mine was Marjorie. So she's my favorite. That's who I'm dressing like. I'm not sure who you're dressing like yet, but.
Well, I've got Sansa's hair.
There we go.
Yes, please, to cosplay pictures. Yes.
Oh, yes. This is going down. I mean, it is so happening.
Scarf. Or not the scarf, the collar.
Ah, yeah.
Guys, they're such a riot.
This is happening.
My experience of law of attraction, I still choke on the phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Connected to a lot of old shit, but what I saw is that as I've been in less resistance to it, when I've been more open and curious about it, and as I've leaned into what do I want, and as I've taken action towards it and enjoyed the feeling of it when I do get to experience it, as I lean into more of it, more of what I want is showing up in my life. Freaking amazing clients. Like, I've worked with people this year that just make me want to pee my pants and pinch myself. I'm just realizing that my resistance to the whole idea was literally saying no to everything that was possible. And as I've just lowered my resistance, I've increased getting more of what I want. So that's what creates the curiosity for me, the willingness to, like, okay, I just need to listen, and being just really, I'm just really honest about where I still feel skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
And love, especially you, don't get bothered by skepticism. You're just like, I can only share my experience with you and let you take from it what you will. So thank you for showing up that way.
Well, and you're exactly right with that as you, first off, we're creating and we're doing it whether we're conscious of it or not.
Yeah.
We are constantly in the mode of creating good and bad, and there's no good, bad, right, or wrong, but desirable outcomes and undesirable outcomes. We are constantly in the process of doing that. So whether we know it or not, we're doing that. And when you're in resistance, when we're saying, and I get the whole terminology that doesn't fit with your style and your groove, and the same concept is explained over multiple cultures and religions as different words, but it all means the same thing. I'm choosing law of attraction because I want to put it out there. And I want the people who were in that mode of, I understand this and it's not working. Those are the people that I want to find me, are the ones that know it's law of attraction for them. But this terminology is the same and that I love that. Anyway, I won't get down that rabbit hole, but we're creating whether we're conscious of it or not. And when we're in resistance to something and we're blocking the energy flow from us to the universe at large, to God, to the world, to whatever you want to call it, when we're in that resistance, we're just attracting more resistance. So you've probably heard that what you focus on expands.
Yeah.
And I know that has showed up in my life. I mean, it can be as simple as, well, if you contact your new affiliates every day, you're going to expand in that and get more affiliates. Yes, what you focus on expands. So when we focus on blocking and on limiting, that's going to expand, blocking and limiting. And when we've let go of that, when we're open, then more openness comes. It's a vibrational frequency, and that might get a little woo-woo for some people, but it's just, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just transmutes. It just goes into a different form. When I think about the law of attraction, and I think about being able to create the things that I really, really want in life, and I think about this energy flow, I have no idea where I was going with this conversation when I just started there. Don't you love that? Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about gratitude. So one of the big things that I can recommend for everybody who wants to bring more positive and more joy into their life, again, going back to the concept of what we focus on expands, is spend a few moments every day. Maybe it's the first thing that you do in the morning. Maybe, when you're sitting down to your cup of coffee. And just take a pen, and it doesn't matter if it's in a journal, I prefer in a journal, or a random sheet of paper, but write down some of the things that you're grateful for. Aim for 5. Anything that has happened in the last 24 hours. And it does not have to be a massive, big thing. It can be, I'm grateful that I got out of bed without pain this morning. Or I'm grateful that this coffee is the best coffee I've ever had, and I love it so much. It can be anything. But when we take the time to write down the things that we're grateful for, it bubbles up feelings of joy. And it's the feeling that we're trying to cultivate. So if we're bubbling up feelings of joy and we're grateful for experiences that bring us joy, then the law of attraction says that we'll get more, because we're focusing on joy will bring more joy into our lives. So a very simple technique and it's a great thing to do, to be grateful for people, for events, for things that are happening in your life. There's no negative outcome to this situation. It'll make you instantly feel better. It'll bring more of the things that are bringing you joy into your life. And it's just an all around beautiful way to start your day, is to simply write down things that you're grateful for.
What I do is I do 3 things a day, but I try to do 3 things I haven't done before.
Right.
Because otherwise, I know some people that are like, my family, my God, my, whatever, my health every day. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I mean, I get some bizarre stuff in there. Because I'm like, what else? And, just challenging myself, what else?
Yes.
Fresh herbs on salads, just something weird.
I'm grateful for the genius who developed toothfloss like this.
Isn't that awesome? I had a house guest that used one of those, and I'm like, I've never seen that before. And that was 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been using them ever since. Aren't they awesome? I love them.
The interesting thing about law of attraction, I know with Cal, it was for you, was your Christian beliefs with the law of attraction. So I've got my own thoughts on that. I just figure God doesn't have an ego, so he created the universe. And if I'm like, hey, universe, it's like this big, beautiful thing that I don't understand, he's not going to be like, hey, that was me.
Well,
all-knowing.
That's exactly the religious point of view of why are you not turning to him? Why are you turning to the thing he created and talking to it? The religious view of it is that is stupid, but disrespectful to God. You know, that God is Jehovah Jireh, my provider. I'm calling it the religious point of view, not the spiritual point of view. Because I've been on a journey of peeling apart where does my true faith peel away from the religious stuff, you know, of how do you do this thing right, which was what I used to be really addicted to. I still struggle with it. I still struggle when something for me does not quite feel in alignment to speak to the universe versus talking to God. But then at the same time, full transparency, sometimes I'm not sure I'm talking to God. Like I'm in a full out naked spiritual journey of the crossroads of faith and doubt and wonder. And I just want to be really honest with that for people in case my Christian friends are like, what the hell, Kelly? You know, hey, pray for me. Like, God's got it.
Yeah, I just think being open to wonder, miracles, you know, all that stuff, you know, is just part of being a thankful human that, yes, I'm here. Yes, I know there's miracles everywhere. And
yeah,
I know that it is my new, you know, when I was a child, I was happy, free, full of joy, and it's still in there. So let's do this thing, you know.
Rayven, remind me when we're done recording. I have to tell you a hilarious thought I had. I do not want to record it.
This is what happens if you're on the live version.
So guys, stay tuned after we stop recording.
Well, you know, it's interesting with the words universe and God. I use them interchangeably because to me, they mean the same thing. God is everything and the universe. And the universe isn't in existence without God. And when I think to religion, I think that that God gave man free choice.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, that's it. That's not just that's it. That's it. Man has choice.
And women too.
Yes, man, human beings have choice, that we can create whatever it is that we want. And I believe on a personal philosophical note that each human being is all part of the same whole, that we're all a fragment, an equal sized fragment of the same whole. And that's why we're all connected. We are all the same. Deep down, we have a few different hobbies and preferences, but we're all part of the same whole.
We are all made of stardust. So
all made of pure love and stardust. Yes.
Literally, our atoms are stardust.
Yeah.
Just ask any astrophysicist.
Right?
Yeah.
And most of that is empty space.
But it's time to wrap up. The time went so fast, you guys. We do have a couple of gals hanging out with us. Did anybody have a comment or a question that they wanted to shout out? You can unmute yourself if you want to say something, or you can type into the chat.
Hi, y'all. Sorry I was late.
So happy to see your pretty face.
Thank you.
I'm adding in incognito for your benefit.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I'm adding incognito today is for everybody's benefit.
Oh, Cindy. Gosh, you're gorgeous.
It's called bedhead. I haven't even washed my face today.
Oh, you guys are so awesome.
Did
did you have any thoughts? I was wondering what you're sitting there thinking about.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I like what you guys are saying. I think that one of my questions I've been asking myself for several years has been, what do you really want?
Yeah.
Because what you guys were just saying about, okay, business. I mean, how do you know you've arrived where you're going if you haven't got any clue of what you really want? And that's how you measure your success. I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, so that was kind of one thought I had going. And then, you know, Rayven, the other day when you were sharing, I got this big revelation about, you know, along the idea of what I really want. I'm not a big stuff person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big experience person. So you like really unleashed some huge goals for me, just in the fact of, hey, I want that. I really don't like to dust, so I don't want more stuff.
Amen, sister.
And I totally relate with you, Nicole. You know, when you were talking about, I want the vehicle that doesn't have the top. I have a Miata, and I love my Miata. It's my one thing I did for myself that really is kind of fun. You know, just the thought of, okay, which car do I really want? It's a me thing, and it's my little baby car. So, but
For you, fresh air is the best, right?
exactly, and then it contributes to this hair.
Deep hair don't care, baby.
No, I know. But, you know, I mean, there's those days that's worth the whole day. You know, get out and pop the top back and get out there and just really experience the world and a beautiful sunset, you know. So, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, you're not going to get this done if you don't get your work done, you know, kind of a thing. But I love it. You guys are so beautiful.
Too. And it's true. I mean, there's some really smart sayings. I don't know any of them off the top of my head, but basically just what you said, that you can't know when you're successful if you don't have a yardstick that you've already set that you can measure it by. And
Right.
if your health is falling apart, your family's falling apart, but you got a lot of money in the bank, guess what? That ain't it.
Right.
Well, exactly. I mean, where is it getting you? And I mean, I've accomplished a lot of great things, and I'm thankful for all that. But I knew I didn't want to go back into my business/ministry just doing to-dos. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to be so much more this go around. And like and Kelly, I just watched the replay from the other night. I totally didn't know about it. I was so bummed. I said, oh, that was the end of our party for Stretch Yourself. But, you know, I had gotten so much more than even I put on my points, because there's a few things not finished on the to-dos of it. But you know what? I was so proud of myself, simply because, again, it was, what do you really want? And I took that time to say, okay, which clients do I really want? If I only have two, or if I only have one, but it's the client I really want, hello, I'm living the life I want to live. So, you know, it was just finally asking those questions and saying, okay, this is what I'm moving toward, and I'm going to really enjoy this season a lot better than ever before. So that's what I was thinking.
Fantastic, Cindy.
Yeah. And I didn't even know I was going to get a time with you. I get that. I'm so excited. I would have asked for that.
Wanda, do you have anything you want to share? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I'm always like, always practice gratitude. I publish some gratitude journals, and I fall down on it so badly. And so I just I've loved watching Rayven's Abundability. I love getting the emails every morning and go, ooh, what's my happiness for today? And as if I need to add one more thing to my plate, but yes, I want to be able to be more thankful for the many, many gifts that I receive every day and in aggregate. And I just wanted to sit in and hear you guys and see you.
Good to see you.
Wow.
I'm getting married next weekend.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's something to be thankful for.
Right?
Well, it's been a nightmare. We originally we were originally going to get married Thanksgiving weekend, and all the family was coming in, and then we had some family illnesses, some people couldn't come, and then my youngest daughter's like, I'm due December 20th, and I'm like, oh. So we ended up saying, okay, nobody come, we're just going to do it here, and now like half the people are still coming, so I'm like,
Oh,
Well,
and then the dress I ordered, the wrong dress came in. So she's like,
it'll be perfect.
it'll be great. I mean, I already had a bad feeling about the dress, so I had a backup, and now the backup is it.
It's a good thing that what you really, really want is a happy life with this person you love so much. Not a perfect wedding, clearly.
No, and
Really?
so I'm gonna have to point this out. So last night we're having to make like boutonnieres and an extra bouquet because somebody's showing up I'm not supposed to know about, and I'm like, well, I need some baby's breath this weekend. The dude goes and he gets me a dozen roses at 7:00 this morning and gets me a big thing of baby's breath.
oh, what a sweetheart.
It really is.
We allow this.
He is just, oh my gosh, he's amazing.
He's a keeper, huh?
He's a keeper. I'm so thankful.
Well,
Yeah.
you should be too, because you're pretty awesome yourself.
All right, we gotta wrap up and say goodbye. Rayven, thank you so much for being our virtual
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're going to be speaking at Beach Camp in May 2020.
Yes.
Daytona Beach. So looking forward to that. Everybody, if you haven't already gotten your tickets to Beach Camp, do it. What you waiting for? We want to see you in person.
We have some spots at Beach Condo too.
Yes. And I feed people.
She does feed people.
Yes. If you guys, if
I
anyone
think I
wants,
already got my beach camp ticket. I think I bought it at beach camp.
of course.
I would hope you're coming.
Well, yeah, you guys are my jam.
If anyone wants to have a talk with me about Beach Condo, just reach out. I'm happy to get on the phone with you or get in Zoom with you and answer any questions you have about it. So.
Beach Condo is a week with us. In a condo, you have your own room, and we will have business and fun activities, adventures and business stuff too, for a full week of awesomeness.
All right. Everybody have a fantastic day.
Wait, you're going to tell us a story after you hit stop, right?
Yeah. Sorry, replay watchers.
Bye.